Most Likely to Die from director Anthony DiBlasi features a group of 20-somethings, played by actors well into their 30s and 40s, all set to pregame like crazy before their 10-year high school reunion. But when a mass killer starts picking them off one by one, they'll realize they're in yet another dull, uninspired slasher movie. Night 18 of 31 Nights of Horror, and this one put a real quick stop to that turnaround we just had. I'm Cinematico Magnifico, and welcome to the Nightly Chill. You know, I've talked about two of DiBlasi's films before. The first was Missionary, a surprisingly tense thriller about a Mormon missionary who gives in to his darkest urges. And the other was the more recent Last Shift. Both movies are great low-budget takes on classic horror stories that truly stand on their own 2 feet. So I don't know what the hell went wrong with Most Likely to Die. Nobody who made this movie has ever seen a slasher movie. I guarantee it. Slasher movies are a pretty basic formula to follow and get right. You start with an opening kill, as seen in movies like Friday the 13th or Halloween. This quickly establishes the threat, opens with some fun scares that also highlights the sort of creativity involved with the movie, and immediately hooks your audience. Then you move on to your main cast of disposable yet colorful characters, let us, the audience, get attached to them, and then you start whittling away at them until only 1 or 2 are left standing. Maybe. But while DiBlasi's movie begins with that opening kill sequence, it's almost as if it's done begrudgingly. Because in addition to being set in a scareless, rather lovely day in what appears to be a much nicer corner of Los Angeles, it's also slow as all hell. A man is at home, depressed about being cut from the hockey team that afforded him this luxury home in the hills. His girlfriend is calling to let him know she's coming home. They hang up. She gets back home to find the place empty, and then she's slowly chased through the park behind their house until she's killed off camera. That's it. This slow, clunky, overlit, unscary slog. The rest of the movie is just as formulaic and boring. Jesus, only like 2 scenes are actually shot at night. They're still overlit. The rest of the night scenes are just very obvious day scenes with very obvious blue filters thrown over them. The effects, the look, the sound, the acting, the pacing, the design of the killer are all lackluster. They're all subpar, honestly, even for an indie horror film, because some fun stuff has been done with the slasher genre on the indie scene. And it's partly because they're so formulaic and easy to get right. It's just a matter of passion and creativity on the part of those involved that allows these movies to pop when it should otherwise be written off as yet another copycat of Friday the 13th. Have an interesting hook, have some fun kills, and a somewhat cool or freaky looking killer. The rest of the time, just follow the time-tested formula and keep the pace up. DiBlasi missed the mark here, completely. Most Likely to Die isn't worth a watch by even the most bored hardcore slasher fans. But DiBlasi's other films, Missionary and Last Shift, are definitely worth adding to your Halloween watch list. So, if nothing else, let this movie serve as nothing more than a reminder that those other 2 do exist and must be watched.
You're listening to The Nightly Chill with Steve Arviso. We're all a little mad here.